Hello and welcome to the Non-Fungible Creator Show. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible Today, and Non-Fungible Tomorrow. And today we are so happy to have Matthew, who's a developer and a solopreneur, which is basically the word solo and entrepreneur put together. And he has sold his business in the past as well. So he's now working on a Web3 marketing referral app. So welcome, Matthew.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining the show, Matthew. So I know that you are a solopreneur, and so can you tell us more about your story and also your background and what have you been doing in the past?
Sure. So my name is Matteo. I come from Italy. I live in Milan, which is in the north of Italy. I'm a computer engineer. I studied at the Polytechnic of Turin. And after my graduation, which happened in 2012, 2013, like 8 years ago, I started my own agency, own business called Liva.io. At the beginning, it was like a broad consultancy agency. We were providing services like digital products, products for startups and things like that. But we were also building these Internet of Things devices, like printed circuit boards, mechatronic stuff. And that eventually became our main focus because on the website now you can see these exhibits, these installations. These are physical, by the way, not digital. The third year, I pivoted the company towards this market, essentially, where we design and build these exhibits, essentially that attract people. If you scroll up a little bit, you can see our best one, which is the kinetic wall. The one on the left. Yeah, the one as well. Essentially, as you get closer to the wall opens a window. See, exactly from the GIF. There is a computer vision system that detects people's faces and opens a window so people can see through the wall what's hidden behind the wall. And that's a marketing project because you can hide something behind the wall. Like, for example, the first project was to unveil a new car, so people can see that car for the first time by looking through the wall. Yeah, that was the beginning of this kinetic mechatronics projects. And then from the third year, I focused the company, the production on these things. That's Riva. I've been the CEO of the company for 5 years. In 2019, actually, one year and a half ago, maybe 2020. I'm losing the time with this pandemic. I left Liva because I wanted to focus on projects and ideas in like online businesses and not consultancy. Actually, before leaving Liva, I closed this huge project with one of our biggest clients, like 1.44 million project with a client from Dubai. The Kinetic Eco actually is the project. No, not this one. The other one on the right. If you go back, exactly that one. Yeah, this one, which is now installed in one of the highest skyscraper in Dubai. This kinetic structure, kinetic exhibit. So 2 years ago, I signed this huge contract with one of the best client that we have. But still, it was not my thing at the time. I always had a dream to start my own service, my own online business. And that's why I left Liva. I still own the share of the company. But again, I wanted to focus on online products, online businesses.
I'm sorry, I just want to jump in. I think this is really cool. I haven't seen this before. So this is not just computer engineering, right? There is some mechanical engineering as well, because these are not LED panels. These are real mechanical panels, right?
Exactly. There is a system of levers behind the scene, like levers that can actually steer and move those triangles automatically. So you have something like 500 stepper motors for each installation. For example, the one on the left has like 600 almost a 600 stepper motors, like small engine that drives a lever that moves the triangle. It's pretty tough projects, actually.
It's really cool. It's really cool projects.
and of course the budget is really high because you need
indeed.
you need to have a team of, we have a team of 10 people at the moment, like mechatronic engineers, designers as well, because you need to have 3D models of all that stuff. We have 3D printers machine in-house, so we print our prototypes, milling machine to cut the iron. Yeah, I mean, pretty cool company.
But then you went to develop your own apps, right? You think apps are cooler than this?
Yeah, the idea is that, I mean, consultancy is good, but you deal with like two, three big projects, 2-3 big clients every like 3-4 months. It's like it goes in cycle, and then you change customers, but essentially you depend on one big customer, 2 big customers. I mean, at least Liva, which is not like huge, but like 10 people, a 10 people agency. That was not something that I enjoyed that much. Plus, my the product designer within myself wanted to say something, so I needed to move on and again focus on my other stuff. And this one that you're looking at the moment is the first project that I created. This one was in 2020. After leaving Liva, I decided to do, I don't know if you heard about that, the 12 projects in 12 months challenge. Essentially, every month you do a project and you see how it works. And I did that. And I did that because I wanted to learn how to launch a product online, because I was dealing with B2B sales processes, like this huge process to sell 1 million, a project that worth 1 million. But I didn't know anything about selling $29 subscription, which is completely different in terms of marketing and sales. This was one of the first project that again I built. I built it in no code and code. So it's a mixture of low code and no code techniques. I used Bubble.io. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but essentially it's a visual programming platform, plus a little bit of code to handle the stream, the video stream, because essentially this one is a video widget you can install on your website to get face-to-face with your visitors. So essentially they can call you from the website instead of like, sharing the link to a meet, to a Zoom call or whatever. And instead of chatting, you can call them. And this one was really good for the market segment that I found interested in this kind of, in such a tool, was people that were renting cars online. Remember that this was during the pandemic, so all the stores were closed and they couldn't get in touch with their customers at that time. So this was a way for them to get more personal with their website visitors, which was essentially the main customer acquisition channel at that time, because again, physical stores were closed. So yeah, I got a big client from Sweden and north of Europe. I sold like 10 licenses, and then I was like heading to find new customers like them. But after 2 months of running this idea, I kind of lost interest in the market segment, because I didn't enjoy. Actually, I mean, I left Liva. After 2 months, I stumbled upon this new business idea and it was working, but I was like looking for my product founder fit. What actually, I don't know if you heard about that, but essentially, I'm sure you heard about product market fit, which essentially tells you if you're doing well in terms of business. But product founder fit is the kind of alignment that you need to have, that our founders need to have between them and the product. So how do they like the product that they're building, and the market segment as well. So I was talking with these people, and I didn't really enjoy talking with like these people. It's just just a personal call it was. So after 2 months, And in the meantime, by the way, I was sharing my story on Twitter. I was building in public, and I organically generated an audience of no-code developers because I was building this tool with no-code platforms, this Heyhi tool. So I generated this audience, which, by the way, was asking me basically every week, "How did you build that? Can you share more about the technologies that you use and things like that?" So that's how in January 2021 I started Superbuild, which is a collection of courses for no-code developers. So I ended up selling the other business on microacquire, Heyhi.io, the video widget, and I started this new it's a marketplace and a community, essentially a community of 500 no-code founders, people that enjoy building their ideas with no code. And I recorded videos on how to build stuff with no code. And yeah, that's how Superbuild started. Now we have, again, 500 founders in the community, and I enjoyed a lot for like doing this for like 9 months, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because you jump from project to project, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows that you are someone who enjoy building, like you enjoy creating, right? But once you created it, you need to find the next thing that really gets your interest, like to get that excitement, right? From building something from nothing to something, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's great that at the same time using your no code tutorial system, right? You're able to help other people build as well. And so it's kind of like sharing that passion to create something from nothing to something, right? And then I know that actually, so this is your background, right? So how do you come across Web 3.0? How do you come across NFTs, cryptocurrency? And it is also one of the subject of our video today because you created a Web3 affiliate marketing platform, right? Which is called Sparkwave. Can you tell us more about how you got into crypto and Web3?
Yeah, sure. Perhaps the main reason why I stumbled upon, I got into Web3 was my curiosity. I easily get excited when new technologies are around, and so I got into. I remember I listened to this podcast. It was like, I think, My First Million with Shampuri and Sempar. So they mentioned this new platform called bitclout.com, which was this decentralized social network on top of Dazo, which Dazo is the blockchain at the moment, decentralized social, it means, and it's also currency, a cryptocurrency. So I joined that social network, and I remember that I was so inspired by the fact that every account has a cryptocurrency attached to the profile. So essentially, you have a social token, and people in the platform can trade your social token, which is essentially it's something like a stock for a company, but it's a financial thing that is related to your social performances. So you as an influencer online, and everyone can be an influencer online nowadays. So a designer, an entrepreneur, anyone, essentially. Yeah, so I got into Web3 with that, with BitClout. I spent 3-4 months on the platform, which was growing at the beginning, and now it's it's steady. It's not growing that fast. That's why I lost interest in BitClout as a node of Dazo, but I'm still interested in Dazo as a currency. So yeah, I launched a couple of projects there. I even launched my social token, which was a mess because I didn't know anything about that, and I created the account. I launched the token, and remember that it was my first experience, like first week that I was into Web3, so I didn't know anything about that. I launched my social token, and I didn't know that I didn't even know that the price of the social token follows a bonding curve, so that the price is higher. Increases if people buy your token. So essentially, I released this social token, but I didn't purchase my own tokens at the beginning. So essentially, I ended up having like this a lot of stakeholders of my token without having any token. So it was like screwed essentially. This was like a project called yeah, I mean it was a mess that but I learned and now I don't do that mistake again.
So what do you mean is that you forgot to patch it with a currency? Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. On BitCloud, essentially, again, currency price follows a bundling curve, so that the price of the first tokens, the first tokens is really low, and then it gets higher as new people and new investors purchase that token. So essentially, after the 12th or 13th tokens, you needed to pay something like $300 to purchase the 14th and 15th token, and the curve is exponential. So essentially, if you miss the chance to purchase the first 10 tokens, you're screwed. And that's what happened to me with one of the projects that I launched. It was Pitch Wall. So essentially, I gave Web3 founders the way to pitch an idea with a macro pitch, like 30-second pitch, and raise tokens with the pitch, essentially. And I ran that for like 3 months. But I not forgot, because I didn't know that essentially at the beginning. So it was a noob mistake. But then an investor came in and said, okay, you know what? The project is good. I wanted to invest, and I'm going to give you like 17 grand so that we became the main shareholder, token holder of this project again. So that's how I regain the leadership in terms of tokens of the project.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, like when it comes to Web3, we are all learning, right? It's all new. We didn't know there's like liquidity pool, how it hedges against, different type of tokens. So
tough.
Yeah. So how do you, what inspired you to create Sparkwave? And can you tell us more about that project?
Yeah, that one. So it was January, like 3 months ago. I created this course about Web3 with Superbuild. It's superbuild.io/Web3. It's a course about Web3 and how to build Web3 apps with no code. And my students, I got like 150 students or something like that for that course. And I thought, okay, how can I actually leverage the fact that these students are interested in the course, they enjoyed the course, and they are keen to share the course. They might be keen to share the course on Twitter and other channels that they use. So at the end of the course, there was a slide where I asked them to make a shout out on Twitter if they enjoyed the course, and in exchange of that shout out, I would have given them like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and that was all manual. So essentially, I needed to check if they did the shout out and then reward them manually. This was the genesis of Sparkwave. Because at that time I didn't know that, but I was doing a manual affiliate program with my students, so that if you talk about my projects, I'm gonna reward you with some prizes. Now the shape that Sparkwave has is a little bit different. So you don't pay people to make a shout out, to post, to mention your projects online, but you reward the most loyal followers of your Twitter account, and those who brings customers for you. So essentially, I do at the moment. I do two things. I create a rank with the most loyal followers. So those that like, comment, retweet your tweet, and I create a rank every week, every month, so that you can reward them recurrently. And I generate links, unique referral links for your idea, so that you can reward those who refers friends that became customers for your product. So this is the shape that after listening to a lot of feedback, actually, because at the beginning was the shout out idea that I told you, but people told me it's a really cool idea and it fits the Web3 ecosystem. It should be something like this, but I feel a little bit, it's risky because people might be see this as I'm paying customers to share my project. So I turn that, but still there was something there, and I stick to that idea because I think that affiliate program it's proven that it worked in Web 2 a lot. People, there are plenty of multimillionaire businesses in Web 2 that are doing referrals. But I think in Web 3 there is a huge hole, a huge gap, a huge hole in this in terms of referral tools. So that's why I'm building this, and that's why I pivoted a little bit the value proposition, and now it's more related to the fact that you're rewarding people that are helping you spread the word, and not like the most loyal followers, and not that you just pay people to talk about you.
Yeah, I think especially in Web3, you do see a lot of projects doing NFT giveaways or whitelist giveaways, right? And all of that is similar to affiliate marketing, where you tag your friends, get people to know this project. But now you're doing this in a way where you kind of create a smart contract, right? To distribute the funds, right?
Yeah, the idea, I mean, the reason why this referral marketing tool is like 10 times more powerful than in Web 2 is that your customers, your users are a financial stakeholder of your product. So essentially your success is their success. Because if I own your token and I spread the word about you, that means that someone else can buy the token and increase the price of the token that I earn as well. So I mean, there is this in Web3. There is this like alignment of incentives between customers and founders, and customers became like small co-founders in a way, and they get financial upside if the product goes really well. So it's like in their interest to share the product, talk about it, and so that's why I think that in Web3 referral marketing is 10 times better than in Web 2.
Yeah, and I like how you incentivize people who are your loyal followers rather than just someone who did an action and then you pay out to them, because those loyal followers are the people who organically interact with the posts and things like that. And I noticed that your platform is actually multi-chain, right? So it supports different type of blockchain like Ethereum mainnet, Polygon mainnet. So how is this? Are you gonna implement more blockchain in the future, or is just the ones that we see right now?
At the moment, I have the first 2 rows implemented. Yeah, kind of. But I mean, if you want to try the beta, only Ethereum works at the moment, and for me, it's really easy to have. It's just a flag in the database that I can check, and people can use other networks. But it's still I'm still in beta, so in beta, so I want to try Ethereum first. To answer your question, probably. It depends on the market. It depends on customers that I get, on which chain they're running, and which currency that are using, and because I mean it depends on their chain. They want to give prices on their chain, NFTs and currencies and crypto incentives related to their chain. So. It depends. Again, to answer the question, it depends on new customers and new requests that they make. Because one of the things that I do is adopting the lean methodology. So I don't do anything that is like out of the blue or out of my, just because I want to build that. It all started because of my own pain point. But now it's a matter of constantly aligning with customers' needs. Constantly, like listening to them every day. At the moment I'm still like 70% building and 30% talking to them. At the beginning it was like 70 and 30, but now I'm in this phase of 3-4 weeks that I need to build. So 70% building and 30% listening to them, which is like everything. It's so important to understand their needs, because at the end of the day, building an online business, building every business is a matter of solving a pain point, solving a problem that they have in the way that they want, not you.
So just to quickly go through this product, right? So basically what happened is someone uses the crypto wallet, they connect it with your website, then they could also link the Twitter account or social media account with your
Yeah,
website, and you would pull the data from the social media to see who are the ones that top engaging,
yeah.
and based on that they could also launch campaigns using certain cryptocurrency, and once these campaigns have been fulfilled they could just send the funds over, right? Or
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
done automatically? It's like
Yeah,
how does it work?
you define a monthly budget for your referral. Let's, for example, make an example with Twitter referral. What you said is correct. So I link their Twitter account and I pull data from their Twitter account to see who are their most loyal and engaged followers, and then they can set a budget, and I like calculate prices for the first, like, say, the first 10 most loyal followers, and then behind the scene there is a smart contract which sends automatically to them, to these best followers, let's say the crypto, the prices automatically every 14 days, 30 days you decide the frequency of the rewards.
Yeah, I think that is pretty interesting, and it definitely fills a gap in the space. And yeah, and so far, how is it going? Like, how are people's feedback towards it?
I'm getting really good feedback at the moment. For example, they asked me to connect Discord as well, so that they can actually reward more engaged members, or people that actually invite new members, because you know that Discord has this feature so that you can create a referral link and then you invite people, and then they have API, so you can actually get the number, so you know how many referred members came from a specific member, so that I get the number and I can reward them using Sparkwave. Yeah, feedback are good. I mean, it's just 1 month and a half, so I've just started. And by the way, everything you see on the website, it comes from me. So I'm a solopreneur. So design, landing page, copywriting, building. So I'm pretty fast at building and coming up with landing pages and things like that. But yeah, that's how I got at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so inspiring, and that's why I wanted you to come here to share a story. So that actually links to our next question, which is, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs, right, or maybe a solopreneur who do everything themselves? You talk about some failures, for example, the social token, something that you didn't know, and then you have to learn it in the hard way, right? So what would your advice be to entrepreneurs?
Nice question, strong question. Probably the I would start by saying that you need to focus on an idea. I mean, last year it was my sabbatical here, and I like created like 12 projects in 12 months, and it was cool in a way. But apart from Super Build and then Heyhi, of course, I mean, I hit these two projects that actually I can make a living out of those out of those revenue streams at the moment. But you need to focus. I mean, if you want to go big, you need to focus on one idea and grind and stay on that idea for months and months. And even if you don't see any good signals, you need to stick on that idea a little bit, because otherwise you miss the chance of spotting the right version of your product. Because I mean, every idea is good in a way if you present it, if you shape it in a way that your customer wants, and help them. I don't know if you get this point, but I mean, a business idea can be presented with different angles depending on the positioning that it has. Like, for example, the transition that I made from the shout out to this one. It's essentially the same principle, crypto referral marketing, but at the beginning, customers were concerned about how how this idea could affect their brand, could affect their image online. And so I needed to shift a little bit the same principle, because took me like 2 days to change the value prop in terms of technologically speaking. And so just focus on the goal, on what your customers will become after purchasing your product. In this way, for example, they will be able to grow their projects faster. They'll be able to become more successful in their lives. So that's in terms of sales and marketing, that's the main goal. And then you change the value proposition to match the goal. So this and focus on that goal, not the way you do it, not how you do it, but the goal. Because again, you're selling to your customers will buy what they become, what the benefits that they get after purchasing your product, and not your technology and not your product itself. They purchase what they the hope to become something better. So yeah, first suggestion, again, to get back to your question, probably is to focus on one idea and stick on that for months. This was a mistake that I made last year, but this year I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it again. And perhaps second is being flexible. I listened to a lot of podcasts, read a lot of books, and most of them are actually linked here in this document that you just opened. Most of the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, ended up having a different idea, and ended up becoming successful with a different idea than the one they started with. Because I mean, everything starts with something, but then you need to grind, you need to stick on your journey. And being flexible means actually to align the value proposition and your product to the needs of your customers. And that's something that you can't know at the beginning. That's something that you explore and discover in the process. So being flexible and adjust your value proposition for your customers is probably one of the main thing. And don't be scared to change it as long as it is aligned with the goal that you have in mind.
Yeah, and right now I have your screen, showing like a mini book that you wrote, and I think it's very helpful for people who are entering into this space, or who want to start their own business, because you have a lot of material, a lot of checklists, and a lot of great testimonies in the past about how to
that one got viral on Twitter. I got like more than 60,000 impressions on that tweet when I launched this mini book.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So before we end the stream, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience before we close up?
I mean, check out Sparkwave. Reach out if you have any feedback, any suggestion on what I should do, and how I should change or improve the platform. And follow me on Twitter. My handle is Matteo Mosca _.
It will be in the description link below. Everything will be in the description link below that you see today.
Yeah, the best way to follow me is to follow my path is on Twitter. So I see you there.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and thank you so much for sharing your insight and your journey. I feel it's really it's very eye-opening, seeing how you started from building physical products, as a consultancy, and building these amazing, beautiful installations, and now building different beautiful apps, and all within just a year. And there are some apps that are very successful where you're able to sell them, and also some that did not go too well, because we all learn in this journey, right? So it's just saying it's very amazing for you to share the story.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure for me.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine as well. So that's it for today. Goodbye, and thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like the content. Follow Matthew, and thanks for watching, Matt.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.